Good day, grade 11 students. I am Sir Arnell and welcome to Personal Development class. Today we will be tackling about coping with stress in middle and late adolescence. And after going through this module, you are expected to identify the meaning of stress or stress management, or list ways on how to face the different causes and effects of stress, and then share ideas in dealing with stress and maintaining mental health with your siblings, friends, and family. So, what is coping? Coping defined to mental and behavioral efforts that we use to deal with problems relating to stress, including its presumed cost and unpleasant feelings and emotions it produces. In coping with stress, we are using all aspects of ourselves to deal with both the causes of stress and their impacts on our emotions that can make us feel uneasy or uncomfortable. Stress will not disappear when we do nothing about it. Instead, it will worsen situations that can cause more problems to our physical and mental health, which is more difficult to handle. So let's do something to face the struggles in dealing with stress by finding a better solution. So how do people or we cope up with stress? Since stress is real and cannot be avoided, we need to deal with it. When we are stressed out, we typically wanted to feel good and well. This may include knowing the causes of stress, understanding its effects on us, and finding ways to deal with it. Now, here are the approaches in coping with stress. First is avoidance approach. In this approach, people tend to run away from the stress by denying the presence of stress and by distancing from the causes of stress or stressor. People will tend to avoid the place, people, situation, feelings, or etc. that would remind them of the stressful moment in their lives. Avoidance is usually a negative response, although you must do it sometimes if it is deemed necessary. So say for example, you want to avoid the person who has hurt you badly because it will remind you again of the past pain or he or she has caused you. So some people practice avoidance by directing their action or resorting to bad or negative habits like smoking, drinking, alcoholic beverages, or even taking illegal drugs, which they think is helpful, but is worsening the situation and causing more stress. Then Then the second one is acceptance action approach. In this approach, you acknowledge and accept the fact that is real. That stress has good and bad effects to a person. Acknowledging and accepting the reality of stress and its effects would lead you to take action to feel better or to resolve stress and have a healthy life. In dealing with stress leads to finding better solutions. So you have to apply this that you have an acceptance and action to do to cope up with your stress. So say for example, you know that you have an upcoming test. So for you to pass or get a high grade from the test, you have to exert some efforts like studying or reviewing. So acceptance, that means the reality is you have a test. So in order for you to relieve your stress or to gain confidence to take your exam, you have to take action. And that is your approach on how to overcome your stress. So acceptance and actions will help to lessen the stress in your life by doing something before or even during the stressful times, which can help you do better and live well. In this approach, adolescents are encouraged to think of helpful and effective ways to cope with the stress. So that was the two approaches in coping with stress. We have avoidance approach and acceptance action approach. So now let's move on to ways on how to cope with stress to maintain a healthy well-being. First is physically. We have physically, emotionally, socially, mentally, and spiritually things to be avoided when you are stressed. So when you say physically, that under with it are the following simple exercise like stretching, proper breathing, exercise, walking, jogging, and Zumba. Or eat nutritious food and healthy foods like vegetables, fruits, eggs, less fatty foods, salty and sweet foods, and etc. Then after that, or if you have time to drink after the adrenaline you have worked out, you also have drink a lot of water. So that must have, I think, 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. Drinking water helps eliminate the toxins in our body and help our bodies to relax and keep us hydrated. Then, the next one is take a bath daily, of course. That is a common hygiene of person. If you don't have to take a bath, then you will be you smell bad. So taking a bath will help you feel clean and relaxed. Then proper hygiene, like washing your hands, brushing your teeth, and etc. Then take a nap. Whenever you get tired of doing any work or activities, take a nap. So sleep at least 8 hours. Good sleep will help you regain your strength. So do not uh, yeah, do not just take a sleep at least 8 hours. Then find, look, or imagine a relaxing place or even a picture. So have to lie low or unwind in other places that you feel you if you feel it is comfortable for you to go in there. So or do sports like badminton, volleyball, basketball, or etc. or whatever you want to do in your life just to cope up with your stress. Then the second one is emotionally or socially. Under with it, we have listen to music to inspire yourself, to unleash yourself from being alone. Maybe like that, or music can inspire that would help you feel better. So do your favorite hobbies like dancing, playing musical instruments, drawing, singing, painting, reading, or blogging, and etc. Then watch funny videos or movies that will make you laugh. Play relaxing games. Make a journal or blog. Release your emotions or share them to friends, siblings, parents, and teachers and counselors. Then have a positive talk to yourself like never give up, kaya ko to, words of encouragement and self-affirmations just to boost up yourself from being drenched of stress, no? And we have learned to forgive, to let go about your ill feeling towards others who have offended you or even to yourselves, no? You have to learn to forgive. Not all the time you put anger or enmity to your enemy. So better to forgive. Then accept mistakes and learn from it by knowing that nobody is perfect, right? And nobody in this world live perfectly. And then support group, people who can be there for you, especially in times of crisis. Key, or the last one is talk to professionals like doctors or counselors if you need it most. And then, number 3, mentally and spiritually. It is, if you are mentally and spiritually, just read books, novels, comics, inspirational books, or the common one is Bible and etc. Or whatever pastime or reading materials you have to read just to cope up. Again, you're stressed. Then think positive. Look at the brighter side in every situation. Or what lesson can I learn? How can I improve myself from this situation? Then manage your time, plan ahead of your activities and make schedules like classes, tests, household chores, breaking a bigger task into simple ones, or one activity at a time, on etc. Pray to God, telling or pouring out your emotions or problems to God. O, maging sip-sip ka sa Panginoon, no? It's not bad being so close to God, because God can give you comfort. It will give you glory every day. And be thankful instead of grumbling. Learn to say no if needed. If you don't want to do it or somebody will force you, then learn to say no. Then know your value as being created in the image of God and loved by God, of course. Know your value as a person. Then things to be avoided when you are stressed. These are very common: tobacco or cigarettes. No, so don't spoil yourself from being addicted with tobacco. Then alcoholic and beverages, illegal drugs, too much coffee and soft drinks, and negative thoughts. Since stress has individual effects on each of us, which depends on our level of tolerance, it also requires personal techniques and overcoming and coping with it. So the question is, why is coping with stress important? Coping with stress is very significant in middle and late adolescence, since at this stage, there is hormonal surge. Stress creates hormonal imbalances as adolescents face different issues or expectations, challenges, and responsibilities, while handling its effects on their physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Coping or managing stress is important because it will help you to keep moving amid the daily challenges you are facing. It will help you live a healthy mind and a healthy being. Too much stress can cause damage to your well-being if you will not properly deal with it immediately. We are like an elastic rubber band, but when stretched out too much because of stress, we may lose our elasticity and eventually snap and break. So as the saying goes, have faith, stay calm, and live healthy by coping with stress. That is the tagline. And then, will you accept the challenges of coping with stress? Question is, how to maximize stressful situations? First, manage your time wisely. Work with others. Be positive. Trust God. Do all those things, and you overcome your stressful day all day. So I think that was the end of our topic about coping with stress and middle and late adolescence now. So now with your pen and paper, let's do this. Number 1, which of the following characteristics refers to avoidance approach? Is it A, excited to solve the problem, B, dealing with the cause of the problem, C, denying the presence of the problem, or D, planning to solve the problem? If you answer letter C, denying the presence of the problem, then you are correct. Number 2. Which of the situations below does not demonstrate the proper way in coping with stress? Is it A. Leo does bike exercise at least 30 minutes every day? B. Joel takes a nap whenever he feels tired? Or C. Being drinks alcohol when she has a problem? Or D. Liza listens to music whenever she is struggling? Well, if you answer letter C, being drinks alcohol when she has a problem, then you are correct. Number 3, which of the following are the steps in coping with stress using an acceptance action approach? Is it A, knowing the cause of the stress, B, understanding the effects of the stress, C, finding ways which are effective in coping with stress, or D, all of the above? If you answer letter D, all of the above, then you are correct. Number 4, there is a family with 3 adolescents in the house, but these siblings are always fighting about who will do the daily household chores. So the parents are angry and stressed out with their situation. What would be the best way to overcome their stressful life? Is it A, separate them in different houses? B, delegate the specific task for each of them with responsibility and sanctions if they fail to do their task? C, the parents will always yell at them? Or D, the parents will do the household chores? If you answer letter B, delegate the specific task for each of them with responsibility and sanctions if they fail to do their task, you are correct. And finally, number 5, who among them manages stress well? A, Anna plays violin when she is facing problems or struggles? Or is it B, Kay yells at everyone around her when she is upset? Or letter C, Mark smokes when he is in trouble? Or D, Jack fights with his siblings when he is annoyed? If you answer letter A, Anna plays violin when she is facing problems or struggles, then you are correct. And that ends our class for today. Once again, this is your personal development teacher, Sir Arnel, saying the search of the self continues every day. Thank you and goodbye.